victory. It's amazing. 796 wins and only 165 losses. Translation, Nebraska rarely loses, especially in matches that mean something. Everyone taking their collective final deep breaths. Final chance for the coaches to run through the X's and O's.
And really two of the best in the country in the last decade. These two programs playing at a high level. Their winning percentage, Nebraska's 2nd and Creighton 8th. So both of these programs have a lot of success in the last decade. And that's why their fans are showing up. They appreciate great high-level volleyball.
The build-up, the anticipation, and the nerves. Yeah, there are nerves. It's the big building with a lot of people. A lot of these young ladies have never played in an environment like this, so who can steady the ship as well will be key. Haynes to serve it up for the Huskies. Huskers there on the right of your screen in the traveling red with the black shorts. Creighton receiving on the left side. Home whites, blue and black trim. Haynes flips it over to Knuckles. In the back row, that was Davis. Blocked and then out of the reach. And it was Launstein just gobbling that first point up.
The block's certainly going to be keying in on Norris Sis. They run a lot of offense through Sis.
Nebraska draws first blood. Ames again. She's played 3 different positions this season alone for the Huskers.
Advertised as playing a defensive specialist role, but last weekend running that setter position, running a 6-2 system, that attempt just wide.
Deanna Schmidt into the Nebraska bench, and it's 2 Love Huskers. Yeah, but Hames, Joe, team first, wherever you want, plug me in, the Swiss Army knife, if you will.
And wants to pursue a future in coaching. So she was talking about how it's great for her to experience this, because if she has a player that's going to experience this, she can talk through that with them.
How about the Jays? They go right back to Tiana Schmidt. They ran the same play, better results that time for Creighton.
Insistent pass sets that up well. Tender weight, beautiful delivery ball to Schmidt.
Tiana so good off of 1 foot. You saw it there. And now here's Sis. Gathered in by Kubik. And the big swing off the hands by Knuckles.
How about Knuckles? Primarily a defensive specialist, but she can swing in the front row. Just in a couple rotations as she goes back row, but that's an incredible ability to say, hey, if you need me to swing a couple times, I can. And she joked actually about how Coach Cook says you better get a kill if I'm going to leave you up there when you're on the front row.
2 years as a libero and then 2 more as a DS. Not afraid to get offensive as well. Big swing there by Davis. It's gathered in by the Huskers. Up and over in 3. Schmidt again. Block is there, however. Caitlin Horde, who's made a career out of blocking shots, gets another one.
Watch this move laterally. It's just so quick off of her feet. Never gives up on that. Closes in on that seam. What a nice transfer into the program. The All-American transferring in from Penn State.
That's career block number 549 and counting for Horde. Deep shot that time, taken by McCune. And McCune, the old college try. Everyone bashing into the side tables over there for Creighton. They get the hustle point, but Nebraska takes the point. They're up 5-1.
Look at that, that dig outreach there from Knuckles on the back row. Dig to transition. Exceptional effort, though, from Sis and Waite pursuing the ball. But this is the defense they were talking about with the Huskers. Not just the block and the presence of the block with their physicality, but also their court defense behind.
Cross court it goes. Up and over softly by Davis. Keeley, when she was younger, Joe, you remember, she was all about the power. Swing hard with everything. Now you're seeing the veteran savvy.
The vision there to see defense in the back row, but as you mentioned, that veteran play, the vision that she has.
5-2 Huskers early. Oh, poked over by Horde. Jays were ready for it. Davis again, the soft touch. And again, that's the maturity. That's her veteran leadership. She's studied film. She's seen that the smart play is sometimes not the hardest swing.
And gets the block on their descent. Hangs up in the air, smartly tips it over.
Jays close the gap, down by 2. Big swing there and open for Launstein, the sophomore from Waverly, Nebraska.
The Huskers just loaded with pin talent. Launstein, one of those. Talk about a player. Look at her contact point, her athleticism. So dynamic. And a player I don't think has even reached her full potential yet. Came into the program pretty raw.
Scary for the rest of the Big Ten.
Indeed.
Ames gives it air. Block is there for the Jays. Battle at the net. Won by the Jays. And Reinhardt.
I think that was a lot of Kendra Wade. Give her credit. The setter, the joust at the net. Look at this physicality, the strength with one arm up there with that right hand.
You're right. Reinhardt and Wade were both lurking in the weeds there, getting their paws over the net. Creighton was down 5-1. They're hanging around, and again, wide open. A lot of real estate there for Whitney Launstein.
Not just her leaping ability, but I mean, her arm speed, that is a whip of an arm speed. Watch that through the zone, the contact point over the top of the block. Not much you can do about that. And the Huskers in a 6-2. We saw earlier in the season they had a 5-1 with Orr and then opted for the 6-2 system, utilizing 2 setters. So anytime the setter goes to the back, they're coming from the back row. That means they have 3 live attackers at all time.
Let's see, Rodriguez gave that one a chance, but the Jays counter when they get it back. Finished off by Reinhardt, the Wisconsin product.
Reinhardt back into the lineup, missed last season due to injury. But you see, never giving up on that play.
Yeah, medical redshirt last season, had back issues. Never good for a volleyball player. The back is tricky. Davis on the serve. Handled by the Huskers. Davis from the back row keeps it alive. Swing by Sis. Poked over by the Huskers. Sis again. From the back row, dug out by Knuckles. Timing shot there by Krause. Sis again. They keep going to number 2, and eventually, Jays like their chances that she'll get it done.
The longest extended rally we've seen so far in this match. And Nora Sis has 2 deep shots, and that sets us up. The timing not perfect, but takes enough off of it. Defense back into the floor. Well done from Nora Sis.
Now Creighton, after the early hold dug, chance to knot things up. Again, timed. Krause waits for it. Flip it back. Pounded there by Ava Martin. Martin, the freshman from Overland Park, Kansas, making her presence felt here. One of the newbies for Kirsten Bernthal-Booth.
Yeah, big-time recruit coming out of Kansas. High hands off the block.
And we're knotted at a touchdown each. Jays had to settle in, get the feel for the place. Now serving for the lead. Middle attack that time. Becca Alec.
Talk about another true freshman is Alec out of the middle. Such a strong player. Up quick. You see right in between the seam of the block.
As if, Jill, the returners and then Horde transferring from Penn State. You have the number 2 recruiting class in the country. The rich get richer at Nebraska. The tradition continues. They just retool. They never reload. That one shot deep by Bait Force. And we're tied again at 8.
Horse looking to tag hands, just didn't find them. Both teams starting to settle into the set number 1.
Now Ellie Bolt. Cerebral, and then fires a shot deep. Flip that one back. Sent over by Krause. Took a little something off of it that time, and that worked for 22.
And talking to her setter, Ani Evans there, and talking about the timing of that. Be a little bit tight on that, but wisely, she said, gets it through that block.
So the Huskers, for the moment, we seesaw back and forth on the scoreboard here in Omaha. Too much on the deep shot there on the serve by Alec. Tied at 9. Well, we expect a record crowd tonight. We'll make it official when they count all the bodies up, but the old mark was in this building against these two squads, 2018, 14,022. They already sold pregame 14,000 tickets, so I think they'll find at least 23 walk-ups, Joe. And when they do, they will set a new NCAA regular season volleyball only attendance mark. There you go. And many of the marks have been set in this building with these two teams playing. And of course, if you don't know, oh, by the way, Final Four right here, front and center. Little pinball action by the Jays that time, kept it alive. And then return the favor. Horde sends it across. So Nebraska back in front by 2. Horde is so athletic. We saw the blocking ability, but she's such an offensive threat as well. Always involved in the net, Jill.
We're talking about having to scheme to play against her the last couple of years at Penn State. Said what a joy to have her on our side, because we used to have a defense surrounded just off of her.
Sky Mickel, another one of the newbies for Creighton, tried to get that one and pop it back into play. No dice.
A secondary set coming in from Rodriguez, and then Lonstein showing that power and that versatility either side. On the outside pin or the right side behind.
Send it across. Sis up and over. Huskers were ready this time. From the back. Sent over by Kubik. On the slide again. Schmidt. And again out of the reach of Sis and the Jays. But when they sneak up, Jill, Nebraska, out of the corner of their eyes, they're ready to make them pay. Timeout on the court here in Omaha. Nebraska, it got tight, and now they're starting to extend their lead once again here in set number 1. Well, yeah, you got an issue there. You got a Nebraska fan with the Creighton t-shirt. And what do I do with this? It's a great atmosphere, and as we said at the beginning, Jill, it's a celebration of volleyball. So many tremendous players at the high school level and the club level have come from this state. But the lines are certainly drawn, and you can see it in this building. You are either red or blue, or you are not anywhere in between.
Both head coaches talked about that, about how amazing it was to have this celebration of volleyball. And they were both advocating for this and promoting this event to try to break the record. And Nebraska they have shown up, indeed. They are here in attendance wearing that blue or that red. And it's a celebration of both of these programs in the high-level volleyball.
John Cook said volleyball is a state treasure here, and he's not wrong. Davis reels it in out of the TO. Nebraska back to work, however. Horde on the trampoline. Davis gives it air. Sent over by Sis. Too much. Boy, Nora tried to get that little roll, take something off of it, and get that deep shot to fall. She struggled in this match a year ago as a freshman, and Jill, it really bothered her that she couldn't play well, even as a freshman. Hames already piling up her numbers as per usual. Little floater this time on the serve. Gathered up by McCune. Sis battles the fingers at the net that time. Pounded. Block was there. Fake to Horde. And then go over to Lonstein, who again destroys it. And you just don't know if you're in that front row. Is Horde going to get it, or is Lonstein going to make you pay?
Leslie Rodriguez, the phenomenal freshman, AVCA National Freshman of the Year, and that is an impressive feat for a libero to win that award. Hunkering down that defense, leading the way. Named one of the 3 captains actually on this team as a sophomore.
Point for the Jays. That ends a 6-0 run by Nebraska. Damage done as far as Creighton's concerned. Uphill battle once again here in set number 1. And here is Sis. Jill, already 500 plus career kills already in her sophomore campaign. Oh my, Horde. They've got a lot of oohs and ahs from the folks here at CHI.
Working on that connection, but that was a dime from Rodriguez in the back row. I don't think they were meaning to serve her because she has nails right up to the setter, just like that. Easy side out for Nebraska.
Caitlin Horde said it was like being a freshman all over again, coming from Penn State to this traditional championship program. And that one off the antenna. Schmidt tried to kick it off the tape and didn't happen. And Nebraska again opening up that 7-point cushion. Knuckles on the serve. Deep shot and missed it. Out of the blue tile it goes. Creighton gets it back here. Trailing by a 6 spot. And in comes Allison Witten. Another one of the newbies, but through the transfer portal. She came from Morehead State. Morehead in the state of Kentucky. And Horde again. You're right, Jill. I mean, that's just on a platter. And Horde almost has to stop in midair to get this one to go down.
Well, it's difficult to defend this with one blocker up because Horde has an either cut if she wants it.
And now Lexi Rodriguez, the anchor of this great back row for Nebraska. Sis from the back row. Knuckles to the front and then pushed over.
How about that ball? Kinsey Knuckles.
I mean, you want to think that Kinsey's thinking, I just want to get it in the vicinity. She does more than the vicinity. Little tap, squeeze it over and down for another Nebraska point, and a timeout by Creighton, trailing by 8. Well, we've talked from the very outset how great this environment is for both squads to play one another and for both squads to showcase what Nebraska volleyball is all about.
Yeah, you know, you try to tell recruits in the recruiting process that they're, you know, the fan bases in the state of Nebraska for volleyball just doesn't really exist almost anywhere in the country, especially for a state the size of Nebraska. So I think it showcases that. I think it's, you know, it's great for Creighton and Nebraska to be a part of it, but I always think it's, you know, it really is about our incredible high school coaches, our high school programs, club programs, and then, you know, I'm a broken record on this, but you do the trickle down from Division II, NAIA, junior college, Division III. I mean, we've got incredible volleyball across the board, and I just think this is kind of a place to showcase that.
Jill, Kirsten went on to say she's not consumed. She doesn't lose sleep at night about this match every year because it's bigger picture. It's everything she just talked about, the great opportunity. She says it's a resume builder if you can play well, if you can knock off a Nebraska, but so many more things that are involved with playing this matchup in this building with all these people watching.
She knows how important it is. Like she said, all eyes are on the state of Nebraska and how much they love their volleyball, and what recruit wouldn't want to come in an atmosphere like this on a Wednesday night in September to a packed house. We have over 14,000 fans watching you. This is phenomenal. It really, truly gives me goosebumps to think about the sport and the growth of the sport and then fans supporting it. It's phenomenal.
Echoed by John Cook. Anything that promotes the sport gets more eyeballs on it. Coaches say, sign me up. Right now, Nebraska trying to close out this first set here in Omaha. From the back, Sis will swing past the hands. Rodriguez goes over to Launstein. This time, Jay's able to get there. Try the left side, up and over, but contact on the net on the Creighton side. So all the hustle and all the hard work, and then you tickle the twine over there. 20-11, Nebraska. Rodriguez, talk about a high ceiling player who's only a sophomore. Did it all last year as a freshman. Down the line by Reinhardt. Up that one to the front row. Dug out in the back row by Sis. Reinhardt takes another whack at it, and this time down it goes.
Lexi Rodriguez was actually there to play that up, but one of her blockers went back with her hand, but she was right there.
Reinhardt, we mentioned the back issue. She returned last spring, but never really hit her stride. But now she's feeling like herself again, healthy for one, but starting to gain that confidence back. That one by Launstein. She attacks the back row. Just when Creighton thought we know where she's going with it, she does that.
Whitney Launstein, 6 of 7 right now, hitting .857. Keep beating her the ball. There is no answer for Launstein right now.
Nebraska back up by 9. Awney Evans, the junior from Waverly. Pokes it to Sis. Reinhardt from the middle. Couldn't get enough on it though. And then a cut and looking for the touch. No touch into the Creighton bench. Jays will take that one. But getting late here, they need a run to disrupt things and force a Nebraska timeout. Make them sweat a little bit. With Davis to serve.
The best server now on the line, and Davis.
That one off of Rodriguez's face. She gathers herself, sends it across in 3. Over to Sis. Dug out by Knuckles. Rodriguez to Krause. Stuffed back. And you can tell Reinhardt, the confidence, the swagger is back, Jill. The best blockers on this Creighton team. That's why they need her healthy.
And the third team block for the Blue Jays. Need to get that going. Some positive touches at the net. Actually out-blocking Nebraska right now, 3-2.
Little poke shot there by Krause. Nebraska back to work. Middle that time. And Alec, the freshman, delivers. So Becca, like when Caitlin Horde was there, says, I can do that too.
So difficult to defend when you have 3 live attackers coming at all times. They're just loaded with offensive weapons, this Nebraska Huskers team. When you have 3 at all times, you have that one-on-one opportunity most times, especially when you have that good pass. So difficult to defend.
That one just missed the coffin corner. Alec, like Horde, goes 6'4". And as rangy as we've seen.
That's the 3rd service error now for Nebraska. So if you can think 3 of those points that Creighton has is by way of service error.
So here's it, Bolton again. Creighton has served well here. Perfect so far in set number 1. Smashed by Alec once again. Goes right on the attack, sees the hands, doesn't bother. And now the freshman from Lincoln, Nebraska. How exciting, right? To grow up in Lincoln, watch Husker volleyball, and then realize your dream comes true. She knows it's special. Too much on the serve. That's been the only bugaboo for Nebraska here in the first set. But they've had this comfy cushion for most of it. Creighton again needs a mini run at least. Try to get Nebraska to think about it here. A little roll shot, however.
Outside the antenna.
Yep.
And even if they can't cut in and take over the set, at least they can try to grab some momentum, some positive play, cut into this just point by point, try to capture some momentum on their side.
Put that one back. And down it goes this time for Krause. Krause and Sis, they are best friends off the court. Right now, they want to beat each other so badly. More on that later, but It is set point here for the Huskers. Folks in red out of their seats. Sis waits for it, up and over the hands. Tight at the net. Hames goes backwards to Lonstein. Poked over with the left hand by Waite. And then stuffed by Schmidt. Kiana all over it. Keeping Creighton alive here in set number 1. Schmidt, another one of the cheeseheads on Kirsten's roster. Sis trying to start a run here for the Jays. And it won't happen. Down the alley it goes, finished off by Whitney Lonstein. She did so much damage in that first set, Jill. Why not give her the exclamation point in set number 1? We'll switch sides here in Omaha. Chance to catch your breath, settle in. Much more volleyball ahead. Set 2 on the way. The Nebraska Cornhuskers still have not lost a set. They are now 16-0 after taking that first one as you look at the digits from set number 1.
And just look at the digs, and not only their block as a presence. They had 2 team blocks with so many positive touches, but the court defense behind is exceptional. That's why they lead the nation in opponent hitting percentage, able to hold Creighton to .032. That is phenomenal. You're going to win a lot of matches and perhaps a championship if you keep up with those numbers.
Last season against Nebraska, Nora says we talked about how frustrated she was. Even as a freshman, she wanted to carry the load. She hit negative last year, had only 4 kills. So far tonight, just 1 kill, 12 total attacks, but 2 errors, and hitting negative again. I mean, plain and simple.
Defensive team in Nebraska, they are so good. Spearheaded by that player right there, the sophomore Lexi Rodriguez. The best libero, in my opinion, in the country.
And if you're Nora Sis, you say, well, you're putting a lot on her plate. Well, she puts it on her own plate. She expects so much of herself. Set number 2 underway. Nebraska, yeah, we switched sides once again. Lonstein, though, continues her onslaught. Doesn't matter which side she plays.
They have not found an answer to Whitney Lonstein. 8 kills on 11 attempts. Those are big-time numbers from the sophomore.
Knuckles to serve as Nebraska draws first blood here in set number 2. Witten was there. Big swing. Horde was there for Nebraska. Wind up by Sis, right into the hands. Witten back into play. Davis over softly. Lonstein again. Sis winds up. Hames is there. But they run out of real estate to the Huskers. We're tied at 1.
What extended rally and a put away from Sis, importantly for the Blue Jays as this rally goes on, and you can see that she goes, attacks that line, finds that opening. It's going to be critical for Creighton to serve even more aggressive, try to get Nebraska, if they can, limited options. They have 3 live attackers, as I mentioned, but you got to get one of them out.
Sis waits for it. Again, the hands deaden it for the Huskers. Lonstein off the hands. But down it goes. It rolled along the net and down on the Nebraska side.
Starting to get a bit more attention, perhaps because of those numbers that she put up in that first set. Well done that time by the block, closing that seam.
So the graphic, first lead of the match for Creighton. They tied it a couple times in that first set, and then Nebraska said enough of that. Bumper cars collide over there for the Jays. They kept it in play, however, and then Sis had to try to windmill it across. Nora winds up this time. It eats up Knuckles. Rodriguez gets there, up and over in 3. Sis again. Oh my. Knuckles, a facial, pays the price.
And they're switching up the tempos because they have the advantage. See that quicker tempo ball allows her to hit it through that seam before it is pressed and form over the block. Sis starting to get on a roll now.
Lonstein. Davis handcuffed. Well, you talk about number 13 getting lathered up right from the get-go and then carries over into set number 2.
She's just a special player. I mean, you have players that can touch high, that can jump well, but she has the ability to not only jump high, but her arm swing as well. I mean, it is so fast through the zone when she's swinging. It is impressive.
Sis waits for it. Huskers reset. Lonstein again. Oh, a little angle shot that time. Craftiness by 13. And we're tied at 3.
Oh, finding something special from Lonstein right now. Just changing that racket head, if you will, with her hand. Just cut shot.
Even had a little post-point smile there. Davis waits for it. Comes down from the rafters for Sis. Underneath it, Hames to Lonstein. Davis is there. Now Sis angles a whack at it. Kubek plays to Karam perfectly. And Maddie closing in on 1,000 career kills in her Nebraska career.
We're wondering why Alexa Rodriguez is one of the best, if not the best libero in the country. That was that read on that play. She took an extreme, she read that play and had a perfectly dug ball up and then in system to transition and kill for her team. Those little plays make a huge difference as a match goes on.
Nora took the first touch there and then got a swing at it, but not much. And Lonstein, boy, she got a swing. Did she ever?
Awarded with the lifting award that they give to a player that had significant strides and perhaps making some strides in the weight room. That was some power on that shot.
4-0 run here by Nebraska after that momentary lead by the Jays. It is evaporated. Got to go over in 3. Yes, sir. Huskers, though, still want this point, and they don't get it. Missed that corner in front of the Creighton bench, and the hustle pays off for the Jays.
I'll give credit to Keely Davis on that. That was all-out effort. I'm not going to give up on this play. Good things happen when you keep the ball alive and in.
It looked bleak, Jill.
It did.
It really did. But Creighton serving to tie this one up once again. Block was there. That was Kendra Waite at 5'10", getting big at the net.
But a good serve, limited options that time. Only 2 live attackers because you aren't able to run that quick tempo in the middle because the pass was off the net.
As Lonstein steadies the ship for Nebraska and squeezes it in over the hands. Keeps the Huskers in front. We're in set number 2. If you're a volleyball newbie, well, A, welcome. B, it's a best of 5. Each set, the first to 25. If we get to a 5th set, then it's racehorse volleyball, the first to 15. Here is Evans. Gathered in by Witten. Sis cuts it. Becca Alec got a piece of that, but her teammate Kubik couldn't handle the hot potato. Sis already, Jill, with 3 kills here in set number 2. That's what we talked about. Let number 2 take her swing. Keep her aggressive. In the middle. Aggressive attack there by Alec. Well, these freshmen for Nebraska are so good. If you don't look at the roster, you don't look at the program, you would think they were seasoned veterans.
She's played at such a high level through USA Volleyball that she's not going to back down. She was ready for this stage.
33 checking in for Nebraska is Hayden Kubik, younger sister of Maddie. Keeping it all in the family as Davis does a little roll shot. And that was Hayden who tried to pancake it and keep it alive. Love the game, Keely Davis. Love how she has evolved into such a threat offensively.
We've seen multiple times that off-speed shot that is working for Davis. She's been the most effective attacker for the Blue Jays. 3 of 6, hitting .500.
Wide on the shot there by Krause. They look for the touch. And yes, coaches have challenges at their disposal, but no one will whip out the card. John Cook or his assistants, Jalen Reyes, Kelly Hunter. They say play on. From the middle, Sis is there for Creighton. And then Reinhardt is there to finish it for Creighton. Jays in front 9-7. Their largest lead of the evening.
Back-to-back middle attackers. See that kind of pinball block attack as they're having to jump with a live setter.
That was odd. Creighton could care less. 4-0 scoring run.
And the first ace of the match comes by way of Creighton going line to line.
A rare miscue there. Jays, however, they'll take points any way they can get it against the number 2 team in the land. Davis sends it deep. And no one home for the Huskers.
Davis is just chopping up this defense, moving the ball around. Off-speed shots are working. Veteran play from Keely Davis.
5-0 Creighton run. Timeout. Red team. It's blue team in front by 4.
Wait.
But how about this gal here in Omaha? Kirsten Bernthal Booth in her 20th season. Look at the damage she has done in the Big East, Jill.
It's impressive, definitely. I mean, they are the dominant figure in the Big East and happens to be the 600th match under Kirsten Bernthal Booth, and she has done phenomenal things. Players have bought in, and she has a family-type atmosphere within her program, and she has just taken it to another level. The expectations are not only to get to the tournament, to make a deep run into the tournament.
Now, you like to think that the givens, if you will, at Creighton are, we're going to compete for the regular season title in the Big East. We're going to compete and win the tournament title as well. Getting to the NCAAs, another given. As Nebraska out of the TO gets Hayden Kubik to get the tally. But those are good givens, though, Jill, at Creighton, because you want players to come in and know that this is where the bar is set from the get-go.
Absolutely, the winningest coach in school history, and it's taken Creighton to its only 11 NCAA tournament bids in program history. They have seen a lot of success with her as their head coach.
From the back, Sis. Horde was there to poke it back. And then Krause with a return shot. And Nebraska righting the ship here out of the timeout, back within 2. Creighton, the preseason favorites to win the Big East once again. Marquette selected number 2 in the conference, but the Golden Eagles, very young squad. Come join us on FS1 come Thanksgiving week. We'll have the Big East tournament for you. In between drumsticks. Sis from the back row to the front, and on the slide, Reinhardt, but Horde gobbles it up. Horde says she wants to be a rock for this Nebraska team. She wants to be someone they can count on to do just that. She came to Lincoln, said the atmosphere is genuine. They welcomed her with open arms. She bought in from day one. Oh, sneak attack by Waite. She's got that in her arsenal, Jill. She'll pick her spots.
With Creighton running a 5-1 system, this is a live attacker as she's on front row. First attempt at that, and that's a winner. found the opening. Extremely athletic, Kendra Wade, phenomenal track athlete in high school. I mean, you put her in any sport and she's gonna excel. She's that type of athlete.
Having snagged there by Kubik, kept it alive. Assist from the back row. Over to Davis. Poked over by Reinhardt, and Horde does the same. Big swing there by Ava Martin. Rodriguez under it. Jays got it over in 3. And over again. One more time. You bet. Reinhardt with the fingertips. Who wants it more? Davis with the left hand. And finally, the rally ends. It was a good one, folks. Krause with the finish. Creighton lead down to 1. Serving to even it up is Hames. Nicola. Bullet assist. Davis winds up and connects. Now we've seen the craftiness of Keeley, but that's the younger version of Keeley Davis when she just winds up, and so physical when she does. And you mentioned the serving, all the aces she's piled up in her career. Continues to climb the all-time list at Creighton. 5th all-time now with 109. Tight at the net. Hames, boy, it all starts with number 1. Balancing act at the net, and then gets it over clean to Launstein.
Launstein just exploits that seam. And she has been the go-to player for the Huskers in this match. Already 13 kills. The next closest player is Keeley Davis for Creighton with 5.
Here is Knuckles. Looking to equal the scoreboard once again. Reinhardt says no serve.
Reinhardt playing with such energy and passion, giving that back to her team. Positive 3 rows for her, but it all started with a pass. A well-tempo ball from Waite.
Having Reinhardt healthy will be big for Creighton in 2022. Smack back by Sis. That's room service.
And that's the difficult thing when you play a 6-2. The setter is coming from the back row, can't go up and try to joust or jump on that play. So you really have to pull those passes, first contact off the net. And Creighton going without Jayla Zimmerman, one of their go-to players throughout her career. Unfortunately, tore her ACL in the NCAA tournament.
Emphasizes the importance of a Reinhardt and everyone on the court, for that matter, for Creighton, as Sis misfires. Yeah, last year NCAA tournament, last December. She's been out since December. Rehabbing, she does some light work now, but not sure on the timetable, Jill. They hope at some point, and Jayla hopes at some point, she will be able to play in 2022.
They're extremely hopeful for her to come back. A 6 rotation player and has great skills, especially with her passing. They really rely on her first contact, and the 6 rotation player.
Down the line, missed it. Did Launstein that time, so Creighton remains in front. Another point about Jayla Zimmerman is she is still at practice every day, whether she does anything or not. When there's matches going on, she's doing this. She's talking, she's instructing, she's another coach on the bench. Heck, when they were on the road in Wyoming, she was giving out water bottles and towels. True leadership. Named one of the captains of this squad, even though she hasn't played a single set. Witten tracks it down. Then Davis does. Now Rodriguez to Hames, to Launstein. McCune was there, poked over by Waite. Nebraska was ready. Second time's a charm for Whitney. Huskers stay close here.
See that emotional leader talking throughout the entire rally, cheering on her team.
Yeah, the fire still burns in the belly. Last weekend, when they hosted the Blue Jay Invitational, that one hurt for Jayla to miss. This one is killing her to not be in uniform. There's special matches in your career, and you only get so many. That one never made it across. So the Huskers, they haven't let Creighton run away and hide. They've remained in striking distance, and now a chance to tie it at 16. Anticipation. Evans delivers. High to the sky. And Sis. Tough navigation there, running out of real estate, Jill. Tied at 16. Tough chance for Nora. Kind of went up there blindly to poke it over in 3. And now here are the Huskers looking for the lead. Tough chance. Poked back. And Sis takes a whack. And finishes.
That's twice now that Rodriguez has been there, but her player, her teammate just puts her arm out, but she read the ball right there.
Before Nora got to that ball, Kiana Schmidt, she had a tough chance, but give her credit, she kept it alive. Could have gave up on the play. Nora, already 5 kills here in set number 2. Much more active than the first set. Evans delivers there in the middle.
There's no doubt about it. Alec is ready for this stage as a true freshman. She is poised. Definitely a powerful player.
Kubik. Cuban had to go low. Contact there by the Huskers, so Davis tallies the point. Creighton back in front. Late stages here, but still enough breathing room for either side to take set number 2.
Keely Davis without an error yet in this match. 6 kills off 12 attempts, hitting 500, and she has done that with a multitude of shots. That time, seeing the hands a bit tight to the net, so she wisely goes off of them.
Big swing there by Kubik. Hayden, that is. Witten kept that one alive for Davis. Keeley again. No. Reinhardt on the slide. Great decision by Kendra Waite. Number 5 with the finish.
I agree. Waite with a great decision against the flow here. And stretch out this block as much as she can, and then allows Reinhardt to find that hand, to tag the hand. Now Creighton back out to a 2-point lead.
Middle attack. Got it. Alec. With a deep shot, no one could get that one.
And Alec working hard at keeping that elbow high, quick snap. Also without an error, hitting at a very high clip so far.
Yeah, that's a freshman settling in nicely here on the big stage. Back on the serve, trying to knot it at 19. To Davis. Creighton remains in front. So you plug in if you get a healthy Jayla Zimmerman with a Davis and with a Nora Sis and with the rest of these experienced Blue Jays, and you see what the potential could be if Jayla can get back to her form.
That could be special. I mean, you had significant playing time for what were freshmen last year in your starting setter in Kendra Waite, and then also Nora Sis. Now they're a year older. They're in their sophomore campaign. They have some really strong pieces. Reinhardt, they got back from injury. Has an open net there for Krause.
Yeah, too easy for Lindsay. Davis getting there late, tried to angle and get a piece.
And that's a lot of attention to hoard. I mean, they're thinking that ball was either going to go outside or to the middle. And so great push out from Evans at the time she was in. Now Haynes is checking in, running those setter duties as they run that 6-2.
Davis again.
Now Davis is just taking Creighton on her back right now in every aspect of the game, attacking on the front row, but also defensively as well. She has 8 kills and 10 digs.
And Kendra Wade is just phenomenal, finding Davis or whoever she deems fit for the kill. Coach Booth said her hands have gotten firmer, and that's a welcome sign as Davis uncharacteristically into the net. But when your setter has firmer hands, when you can tighten things up, that means she has carte blanche on where she's going with that volleyball.
Difficult to read, and that was just the first service error for Creighton in this match.
This is a recording, but Nebraska looking to tie it up once again. Sis got that one. Swing there by Martin. They bypass Horde, and they go to Maddie Kubik instead. And we are tied at 21. Timeout Creighton. They've been holding off these Huskers, Jill. And while they haven't relinquished the lead, we are tied. Late stage
Cook for the program that he has.
And of course, they're playing in this building, and they are well aware, ladies and gentlemen, that the Final Four will be here. So you put that out there for your players. You say, look, if you can get it done, you got home cooking here on the national stage, and that can only help to have a lot of this going on in the stands come December.
And a dress rehearsal, right? I mean, you get used to the depth perception, you get used to the building, you have your fan. They have a chance if they can win a lot of these matches that they're going to have, and they're going to face a daunting Big Ten. They could stay in the state of Nebraska, and they've won two of their titles, in 2006 and 15 in this arena in Omaha.
That's what we call a fun fact. and it is fun because it just bodes well for if you can take care of business.
Right.
The cherry on the sundae, the carrot in front of the horse, if you will. It's all right there. Here's the goal. Get there, and good things can happen. Likewise for Creighton. I mean, they're
right here,
number 17 in the country,
right.
And you know Coach Booth is dangling that same carrot, saying, look, if we get here, you're going to have a lot of blue in the building as well. Home cooking, nothing like it. Out of the TO. Too much from Knuckles, just missed that final tile in the back row, so Creighton stays in front for the moment. Late stages, now trying to close the book and even it at a set apiece.
Give credit to Witten. She followed that ball all the way to the end line. That's exactly what you want to do. You don't just call it out, you follow it all the way there.
Ellie Bolton looking for a little more breathing room for the Jays. Launstein up and over the hands. Sneak attack that time to tie it.
The firepower all evening long, and then she just puts this up right over the top. All the tough shots, though, sets that up nicely. Big smile from Launstein.
Meanwhile, on the set, you've got Horde up there, all arms and legs, and Creighton can't slough off of her either. Much to deal with defensively. Cross court it goes. Kubik. The carom shot, the Q shot, if you will, from Kubik.
And Kubik has been maybe a little bit quiet comparatively to the numbers that we've seen, but as of late in this set, they've went to her at critical times. That's a senior player coming up big for her team.
Timeout Creighton once again. That lead is gone. Boy, it took Nebraska a long time to get this lead and wrestle it away from the Jays. Boy, Jill, how important is it for Creighton to somehow snatch this set away and even things up here on the big stage?
Yeah, good timeout here to just settle the troops, say, hey, we're right here. And anytime you can get a battle, you know, anytime a couple points, you knot it up late into the set, anything goes. It's who can be the aggressor, who can look at, hey, where are our matchups right now? What do we like? What do we see? and also talk about tendencies, but this is exactly where you want to be. It is critical, though, for Creighton to come out right out of this timeout and get a quick side out.
So out of the timeout, the wheels turning in that Creighton huddle. Houston Bernthal Booth, along with Angie Oxley-Barons, who played at NU back in the day. Jordan Larson in the house. All-Star fans, they know it's the place to be on a Wednesday night in Omaha.
And one of the best to ever do it right there in Jordan Larson.
So if you're Creighton, get a clean receive here, Jill, but who are you looking to set? Where's your go-to to get this critical point?
You might try to get the ball, if you can, to Nora Sis on a well-timed ball. Put it in her hands. You might, though, because she is a live attacker, try to serve her the ball to make her work on first contact.
First things first, first contact. Make it clean and go to work. Rodriguez to send it across. Davis to Wade. On the slide, it was Schmidt. Pounded. And we might get a challenge here. Challenge coming. John Cook. It conferred, the staff did, and says, let's look for the touch. Critical point, as we mentioned. Either Creighton ties it, gets the serve back, or Nebraska on the doorstep to take set number 2. Ryan Teague is the down official. He's the one with the headset. He's going to look at all the angles that we have available.
First challenge of the match for either side. And we can see, as it was called live, no touch. I don't see enough on that to overturn that on first glance. You're looking for the change of trajectory, see if the spin, see if the ball bounces up a little bit off the hand or not. And I think it goes over the outreach hand of Kiana Schmidt. I'm not seeing.
Yeah, you're looking for not only the ball, as you said, changing directions, but also does a finger move.
Maybe this is a better view, but it has to be clear and convincing evidence.
Maybe the pink nails right there of Schmidt. Number 9.
It has to be off her left hand.
Yeah, is it the left index finger? You see the pink fingernails there. Does it move slightly?
I'm not seeing enough. However, it could be at a better view on the other side. I'm not seeing a finger there.
It's fun to be a referee, isn't it?
But here's the thing. I do appreciate the challenge. It was much needed. I'm glad that the sport of volleyball has implemented this ability.
Another angle from the floor.
I don't see it.
Sometimes on these challenges as well, you won't see something from one angle and then all of a sudden it gets definitive from another, but I'm going to side with you on this, partner.
Did you see it?
No, I didn't.
I need some glasses, maybe. Maybe I could borrow your glasses.
Point for
Yeah,
Creighton.
I didn't see it.
Our statistician, Glenn Sisk, he thought he saw something.
Thought he did.
He was wagering.
I was standing strong, though.
Yeah, you did. You held your ground. And the Jays are glad that you did, because we're tied at 23.
I can understand the challenge, no doubt.
Critical point there. Another one here. Oh, my. Served it deep. Set point available for the Huskers. Just the second service error for Creighton all evening long.
And both of them have came late in set number 2.
See if Nebraska can pounce and close out the Jays. Crowd standing, waiting for it. Evans. Deep to Witten. Sis winds up. Kept in play, Rodriguez. Tight at the net, jammed over. Davis waits for it. Rodriguez was there. Poke back, up front. Krause. Huskers take it. It was not the prettiest of points, but Nebraska fighting, clawing, and keeping the point alive to eventually get it and grab this second set to go up 2-love here in Omaha. Set 3 after we take a little break here at the CHI Center. Huskers take 1 and 2. 3 is next. 97 here at CHI Health Center in Omaha, Nebraska. Standing ovation to all these fans in this great state.
For sure. And not only do they show up, but they appreciate and they understand volleyball. So that is also what separates this great state and their love for volleyball. They appreciate high-level volleyball, and it is on display. 2 top 20 teams going at it.
They announced it during the warm-ups here, and you could see both of the benches, they turned and applauded the fans. They went, wow, that's incredible. What a stage this has been. And we switch sides once again to begin set number 3 here in Omaha. Reinhardt on the attack. Good start for Creighton. And we talked about Nora Sis, a little slow start for her in set number 1, a lot more aggressive in set number 2. That goes for number 5 as well.
Well, for Creighton to have success, they have to keep that balanced attack offensively, to keep that block, and also the court defense. A little unknowing where they're going to go, so it's going to be critical for them to stay in system and utilize all their offensive weapons.
Ronstein again. Boy, there is just no drop-off. 16 kills now, Jill. That's already a career high. And I think there's more to come tonight.
She's in the zone, having a good time, playing freely indeed. And something tells me this season she's going to shatter all types of, that number is going to continue to go up and up and up for Whitney Ronstein.
Tied at 1 early. From the middle, the hands were there for the Huskers. Send it back to Sis. And
we're going to see a challenge, I believe.
KBB says, hang on, I got a card. And the Creighton challenge here, the first of the night for the Blue Jays. Sis went down the alley.
And I see a touch, actually, on...
Well, I defer to you now. Because you were right. But I don't. But, of course, we're not the deciders. Ryan Teague is the R2. Daryl Kornick is the R1 up top. Now, from that angle, out of view, you can't even see Sis in the picture. And so is there a touch there with the pinky? And again, hard to tell because the camera's sliding over. How about this angle?
Look at the right hand of Ronstein. I see it right there on that right hand.
Pinky? Maybe the pinky. Another angle from down low. Yep.
I see enough there to overturn that call.
Yes. And you talked about, Jill, that you like the fact that the game has evolved. Coaches, though, they have slowly figured out when to make the challenge, when you get that card out or not. And there it is, the touch that we saw. So point for Creighton. But you got to be careful. You can't be willy-nilly with your challenges. You got to pick your spots. And even though it just makes it 2-1, Kirsten thought this is important. I want to try to set some momentum here any way I can.
Well, certainly it's important. You don't win this set, you're going to go home. So you got to use them when you think you have it. And then she gets that challenge back. That's something that's new as well.
Yeah, a reward for being correct. How about that? Wade went all out to get that point still in play. Witten up and over on one. Ronstein. And out of room. Interesting. The Blue Jays will play 3 home matches, all in Omaha. None of them at DJ Sokol, their home arena. You've got this one, obviously, tonight. And then coming up this weekend, they'll be at the U of Omaha, Nebraska, Omaha. Taking on Florida State, and then Omaha as well in a mini tournament of sorts. There you see it. So again, some more home cooking, but not at the friendly confines of DJ Sokol. And soon enough, you get into the teeth of Big East play. It's coming, folks.
Creighton likes to load up their non-con as much as they can. The top 100, top 50 opponents.
Blocked that time, but right into the antenna. So tally for the Huskers, who tied at 3. Nebraska, their next match Saturday down in Lincoln against Long Beach State, and a familiar face as the head coach. To Witten. Slap back on Schmidt. Go to Davis, and one of the Huskers in the net up there. Tangled in the twine that time. 4-3 Jays. Witten will serve. Again, she was playing at Morehead State. She was on the 2020 team, Jill, that upset Creighton in the NCAAs. She had a front row seat for the Creighton program. Just been more than happy to welcome her with open arms. Davis, deep shot. Misses the mark. And something that Kirsten pointed out, she calls all her 3 transfers, Jazz Schmidt, who's available but hasn't played tonight. You got Bethany Clapp, who was at Incarnate Word, and Witten, of course, we've seen her. But she calls them all COVID babies. You know, they've got the extra year, but they didn't come to this program because they were bitter at their last program.
Right.
They just have an extra year, and they want to take advantage and play on a championship caliber squad as Davis delivers.
A beautiful delivery from Kendra Wade, pushes that ball out for Davis, just coming off that first air of the match from Keely Davis, right back to her, give her that opportunity. And the first Blue Jay to register double-digit kills now, the 10th of the match.
Wait, got it! An ace for Kendra. 6-4 Jays. Does so many things well for this Creighton squad.
Good poker face, though, by Kubik. She really sold that one. That was out. Nope,
Yeah,
that
you
was
saw that too, huh? Little roll that time by Hayden. Waite had to get out of the way. A lot of traffic up front. Hayden again. Kubik the shot. Waite was there. Quick shot to Reinhardt. Nebraska responds. Off the hands, then out of the reach of Witten. And ran out of time, ran out of hits. Nebraska stays within 1.
And just tremendous pursuit of the ball. See how his hand, Witten gets it, assists, and then just ran out of real estate.
That's just so tough because the block did their job up front, but the crazy Karam running away from Witten that time, not what she could do. And here's Alec to serve, the freshman. Handled by Sis. Davis flies in. Missed it. Huskers had to scoot out of the way that time. And they tally to tie it. Alec again. Pokes it to Sis again. To Davis again. Crafty. And the reward, chance to serve here with Creighton in front by 1.
Keely Davis just so comfortable with this soft shot now. It's something that she has been working on. Again, gets that block on their descent, coming down off that peak, catches them, rolls right in front of him.
Got herself a double-double already to Keely. 5th-year senior. A lot of leadership wearing that number 6 jersey.
My teammates often say if someone's not talking, Keely will for sure step up and talk, keep the group lively.
This ball kept lively and then finished off by Hayden Kubik. Fans in red love how that one ended here.
Talking about covering your hitter, just keeping the ball alive. That was sister Kubik there, and Maddie Kubik, and then her sister Hayden finishes it off, the true freshman. And it's on display how deep this Huskers team is on their pins. They had Batenhorst playing in set number 1, and then Kubik coming in now.
Hayden again, room service delivery. Yeah, it's one of those nice problems to have if you're John Cook. Too much talent to work with. But it's something that if you wear that Husker uniform, that's what it's all about. From the middle, Ava Martin delivers.
And a set that we have not seen yet. Ava Martin coming around in the middle. I like how they're switching it up, trying to get some different things going offensively. That was Ava Martin coming around on a 2-ball in the middle. Well-handled first ball, and then it just a great set from Waite.
Ava Martin. Kirsten Booth says simply, she's someone to watch. You can see why. Hayden. Just missed. All those Blue Jays were sneaking up, and Kubik tried to take that deep shot and tuck it away. Now here's Bolton to serve. To extend this Creighton lead. And they will. 10-8 Creighton.
Back-to-back effective serves from Ellie Bolton. Tight, and that does cross the plane. It's coming from the back row. That's one of those things, those aspects of running a 6-2. You have to keep that first contact off of the net, because that setter is coming from the back row, is not a live attacker.
Right back to the sure thing in Launstein. And this is a sophomore, Joe, that's playing some really heady and aggressive volleyball.
Well, the Black has to give so much attention again to Caitlin Hoare off that perfect pass ball. So they're diving, they're staying there, staying true to their duties there. That allows for that opening for Launstein to go exploit.
Knuckles to Davis. Come over on the slide with Schmidt. And then finished off by Maddie that time. And did you see Caitlin Hoare? She's on the trampoline, Jill. Watch her go up, and you're like, well, is it her? Is it Kubik? Pick your poison. Tied at 10. And the net it goes. Service error for Knuckles. It's the Blue Jays in front for the moment. Got to have set 3 to force a 4th. 6th service error now for Nebraska. There it is, Hoard that time. Sis, Hoard on the block. This comes over on 1. Huskers were ready. Hoard again, but misfires. So Caitlin, they decided, let's feed 23. She's been kind of quiet in set 2 and again here in set number 3. Jays by a deuce. Back to Launstein. No. Creighton by 3. Seems eerily familiar, Jill. Creighton was in this position. They had a lead and tried to build upon it. Nebraska would never let them run away and hide. And eventually able to snatch that second set away. Another misfire by Launstein. And yeah, John Cook has seen enough. The lead is 4 for Creighton. Timeout Nebraska will take it as well here in Omaha. Here in set number 3, +4. And there it is in bright lights. The digits for you. A new NCAA volleyball only record crowd in the regular season. Almost 15,800 in the house, Jill.
It has been an electric crowd here in this building to see 2 top 20 teams run out of the timeout. That was a good swing from Kubik. Go to the veteran off of what was a 4-0 run for the Blue Jays, with 3 of them coming off hitting errors for Nebraska.
And that's the mark, NCAA volleyball teams, 15-7-9-7. Go top it. A lot of talk, a lot of folks want to try to duplicate this atmosphere. Play in a big building, get a lot of bodies and a lot of eyes on this sport, which is taken off as Schmidt delivers the counter punch out of the timeout. And there will be more opportunities. You're hearing Wisconsin up in Madison. They'll play in the Kohl Center. Over 17,000 seats. We'll see if they can come close to this new mark. The bar has been raised, to be sure, in a good way. Creighton by 3. And now Evans to serve. Knuckleball serve. Wait goes to Davis. Push back. The block was there. Alec got a piece of it. There's Greg McDermott in the house, head men's basketball coach here at Creighton. This is his house. His guys play here in the Big East. Will be one of the best teams in the country this season. Certainly in contention to take that Big East title for the men. The women feeling a little more at home here in first in set 2, and now in set 3 is Sis. The attack from the back row.
Once again, just changing up where they're going offensively. I like that set selection from Kendra Waite, going back row to Norsis. They haven't used it too much, but well-timed play to utilize her on the back row.
Witten on the serve. Flip it back down the line to Kubik, and Maddie delivers.
Maddie Kubik is coming on strong for Nebraska.
Something I've noticed, Jill, here in set 2 and set 3, when Nebraska dug this little hole in each, you look at the faces, and there is no worry whatsoever. They still have the game face on. There's not a lot of extra chatter. It's just back to business. Sis again. Rodriguez gets it to Krause, who has a little roll. Davis, it comes down and she puts it down. Keely Davis, we have seen all of her weapons on display tonight.
Well, she holds, and then the roll shot right over the top of the block, expecting that deep rip, that hard shot. And finds that what is a really narrow opening in that defense.
Wait to serve, Jays by 3. Oh, that was ugly. And Evans knows it. Tried to flip it backwards to Alec, and it was just an awkward spot. And the end result, Creighton by 4. Waite's numbers, business as usual for her. Trolled to the front. And then whacked down by Krause. Krause and Nora assist. I mentioned it before, best friends off the court, club teammates back in the day.
Been best friends since they're 10 years old.
Yeah. Horde whacked at it. Jays whacked it back, and we play on. Over Horde to Krause. And net violation. John Official says the elbow got a piece of the twine. Point for Nebraska.
Countless times, though, you think that Creighton's out of it, but their effort has been tremendous. I mean, that ball I thought was going to be down. Play goes on, rally alive.
Witten is there. To Davis, down the line, tough angle, and she cut it. On the low roll by Kubik.
Now like your middle blocker standing in there digging a ball. Another one.
Look at this. Are you kidding? Davis ends it. Nope. Timeout Creighton. They'll reset. Crowd gets back, getting it back into play, keeping it alive, and then Davis thought she had the finishing touch, but there was no touch. Ball went OB, so the Huskers closed the gap, back within one here, late stages of set number 3.
And to your point, Bob, I just think that Huskers look so confident and comfortable, even down. Like they were down in set number 2, able to come back, win, and grab that 25-23. And down in this third set, now fighting their way back, but they never look out of it. They never look out of control. They stay very focused.
Had to wait a long time to Ava Martin. That one came down from the rafters, and she timed it perfectly.
What a huge swing from your freshman right out of that break. This is a high ball. That is a difficult ball to handle. Gets her feet to the ball and takes a rip at it. She's the aggressor on that play.
Jays stay in front. Horde, not enough on it. Sis, Horde was there. Kubik, whacked and then sent back. Her sister delivers. So you've got Maddie keeping it alive, and then Hayden saying, I got you, sis.
Play goes on and works to get to her touch point. Deep cross court. When you're living there, you're living well.
Huskers stay within one with Hames to serve. Witten to Whip. Assist. Onstein poked it over. Reinhardt. Boy, she tried for the jam shot. Tried to get the terminal finish. And instead we're tied. Kier would love that one back, Jill.
And she went for it, though. I mean, she had it off of 2.
Kirsten Booth said earlier this week, be aggressive. Errors or not, go for it, fight for it. And live with it as well. Now trying to get the lead back, and Horde kept that one alive. Middle, Reinhardt blocked and finished off.
The championship teams make championship plays, and that was one of them right there on display.
Nebraska said that when Horde played at Penn State, they used to change their defense when she was playing. And they're so happy that she's now on the roster. Now, Kirsten Barenthal-Booth going to challenge here. Trying to read lips here, and
What could be, though, a very pivotal moment in this third set.
And we believe you are correct, partner.
Yes.
All will stand. Didn't see enough there. Coach Booth satisfied with the discussion as well. Certainly would have loved to get that point, but Nebraska will take it. Their first lead, as you see, since 8-7.
A 3-0 scoring run for the Huskers.
The doctor ordered if you're the Huskers, and that's what the Jays doctor ordered. Get it to Reinhardt. We're tied at 20.
Well, what the doctor ordered was a pass to work with, and that is a wonderful set from Kendra Wade going against the grain. A strong push out behind her head. This is what you ask for, right? Everything goes tied at 20 all.
Crowd hushes. They know how important every point is as Horde delivers from the middle. Nebraska, we seesaw back and forth here in set number 3.
A big smile, though, from Caitlin Horde. I think that was the best connection that we've seen all night. And that is something that's going to continue to get better. Look out, everyone else, that connection.
Ooh, little help from the net. Davis whacks it off the net. Contact by Nebraska. Sometimes the net is kind, other times it will be unkind. But a proper carom that time for Davis, and we're tied at 21. Sky McCune with the serve. To Lawnstein. Boy, so smooth, so effortless by number 13.
The special players really make it look easy. And just up there, a high snap.
And a lot of critical points here late. Here's another one. Sis, got it. And Wade delivered cross court to find number 2.
Yeah, Nora Sis right after, though, says that to her setter. That's a great ball. And that is some strength. It might look easy off the hands of Kendra Wade, but that is a wonderful ball out to Nora Sis.
And that's constant work by Wade, constantly working to have that relationship with the hitters. Sloppy, but they got it over, and then Wade attacks, and good time for that. Kendra puts the Jays back in front.
Now off a free ball, she's live up there, catches the defense enough off guard.
This looks familiar. And the Jays run with a good thing here. They lead by 1. Trying to stay in front. Nebraska for the tie. No. Block off the antenna. We are tied. The tight quarters over there for Creighton. Just couldn't squeeze it back to the left side. And does this swing the door open for Nebraska? Evans will start it. To Witten. Sis to Davis. Flipped over. Wade steadies. And goes to Schmidt. Yeah, jump for joy. Creighton back in front. Kiana delivers. And Creighton on the doorstep. But John Cook says hold the phone. Timeout Nebraska to talk about it. Well, we just raised the question, Jill. Creighton had that lead.
Right.
Can they find a way to put the finishing touches on this one? We will find out shortly, but here's the last point that put him in front.
It was all about the set selection on that play. I love how Kendra Wade, oftentimes rallies get extended, play goes on. You're up to go to the outside, a safe set, but she really pushed the envelope. I thought was the aggressor within that, and they've continued to get better, hit their strides as this match has went on. You could see first set there, .032, second set getting a little bit better. That was a 25-23. Anybody could have grabbed that second set, and now even better in the third. They're changing up some of the different things they're doing offensively, showing some different looks. We've seen a 2-ball in the middle. We've seen Kendra Wade get aggressive when she's needed, pushing that there on that slide.
We've even seen Coach Booth out of timeouts or between points yell at the troops and say, get it to Nora, find Sis. There are points when they just say, she needs to touch the volleyball. She needs to get more looks. And she has flourished and she has upped her game as well. Now, where are you going here with serve? Be ready for Nebraska, but if you get it back in your Creighton, this is where they've got to deliver. Creighton, set point. Try to make this at least a 4-setter in Omaha. With Witten to send it across.
See the ball for Nebraska going to their senior leader who's upped her play. Maddie Kubik now 11 kills. And they do, they give it to her.
Yeah.
Kind of a give and go.
Maddie Kubik right on cue. And we're tied at 24. She angled it back up front. And then Davis saw Keeley kind of inadvertently step on the foot underneath. Got tangled up. but she's okay. Floor mopped up. We're ready to go. .24 all. First team with a 2-point advantage takes it. And there's the first one for Nebraska. It came back hot, and it was smashed back. Timeout Creighton now. Jay's up against it. Match point arrives for Nebraska. And that was an unfortunate carom for Creighton, Jill, to come back like that hot, because the Huskers were lurking, ready and waiting.
Serving the live attacker, going after Keely Davis because she's a live attacker in that rotation, making her pass the ball before she goes and attacks. That time just too much off the arms, tight to the net, overpass. And Becca Alec has been very strong in the middle blocker position, the freshman, registering her 6th kill off an overpass, puts it away. But it starts off the aggressive serve from Maddie Kubik.
And a reminder, my partner said it at the very outset, this Nebraska team, and it still holds. They have not dropped a single set this season.
Indeed.
They're the only remaining team in the country who hasn't dropped a set. And Creighton would like to change that narrative, to be sure. Right here, force a fourth. Doesn't mean that Nebraska's been perfect. It was interesting. John Cook, they swept Pepperdine, but you know, coaches coach, and coaches always find something wrong. He said it was sloppy. We got it done, but it was sloppy. And so even good teams like this Cornhusker squad, they can find things to work on in the gym, to be sure. They started off as the preseason #1. Texas leapfrogged them after the Longhorns won on the road twice in Columbus against Ohio State. But Nebraska's at 2, and they're just fine if they fluctuate up and down the rankings. That's not what it's about. What it's about is playing here in December in the Final Four. Right now, it's about match point. Nebraska trying to close out Creighton and keep their unbeaten set streak alive. Ooh. McHugh just got there. Sis is there from the back row. Little roll shot. On the slide, Reinhardt delivers. Jay's still alive. Boy, Kiera has come up big tonight for Creighton.
And give credit to Sky McClune on the back row, the freshman Diaz, who had an all-out outreach dive to keep that rally alive for Creighton.
Waits a little floater. Rodriguez off her knees to get it back in play. Now Kendrick finds Davis. Keeley delivers. Jay's set point available for them.
Now everyone is on their feet. It was back and forth, right? It was
red,
it was
blue,
Creighton on their feet, and then it was Nebraska because they had set point, and now everyone in this building, 15,000 strong. What more could you ask for in a regular season volleyball match? 2 top 20 teams going at it. Extended volleyball here too, late in the 3rd set.
Rodriguez gets there. Middle. No! Allen tried to go up and over the defense. Too much on it. And Nebraska, their first set drop this season, they took 17 consecutive to open up 2022. The last team in the land to drop a set. Creighton says, we'll take it. The Cornhuskers, their first set defeat of 2022. And all smiles for the Blue Jays. You always know this is a battle they look forward to, but also well aware it is an uphill battle against their in-state folks. Now an opportunity here for the 4th set. And if we force a 5, then the fans may never sit down, Jill.
Might stand the whole time.
Creighton on the right of your screen. Keely Davis to serve. Set number 4 underway. Little roll shot there as Reinhardt kept it alive. Sis winds up, but the block is there. Launstein and Horde converge.
I think that ball was out, point to the Blue Jays.
I stand corrected. Well, the Nebraska celebration, and they turned their backs and had to turn around and say, wait, what? And point for Creighton. They strike first here in the 4th set. Wait goes to Sis. Some mustard on that one by Nora.
And back-to-back serves from Keely Davis has forced issues for the reception core of the Huskers. Haven't been in system running what they want, and so hasn't been allowed some free ball activity for the Blue Jays, and they've taken advantage.
Great start for Creighton here. Goes to Knuckles. And she misfires. We haven't seen this kind of start. It has usually been Nebraska setting the tone early.
And we've seen Nebraska start in this rotation because they have Knuckles as a live attacker because she rotates back, so they don't want to have to use another substitution because they run a 6-2, so that she can hit, though, as well as we've seen Kinsey Knuckles. Very capable.
Horde setting. Knuckles, and got that one to find a home. Discuss a little more, if you will, Jill, that switching to the 6-2, it's not something that is completely foreign to Nebraska, and by all means, it's not something certainly that you snap your fingers and magically it's going to work.
No, but when you have the beautiful problem, as you'd say,
yes,
they have with so many talented attackers on the pins, they want to utilize them. That going wide, so attacking error for Creighton, but they want to utilize the arms, so that's why you go to that 6-2, and not a lot of teams have the pins and the depth of pins that Nebraska has, so opted to go to it. We saw first weekend out with 5-1, now the 6-2, but I think what's interesting, we haven't seen a team since USC in 2002 to 2003 win a national championship where they primarily ran a 6-2, and I know that's what the Huskers all want to know, is what are they going to settle into? It's not that it can't be done, it's just there's been a lot of success with a 5-1, but a lot of teams just don't have the depth that the Huskers have.
That's the difference. And contact there by the Huskers gives the Jays that point. It'll be interesting. Kirsten Booth, she simply said, look, expect the unexpected. They could come out and go back to 5-1.
Right.
We're expecting anything when it comes to Nebraska volleyball. As you see the contact there in the back row by Rodriguez as well. And Cook said it's moving parts, a lot of moving pieces trying to figure out what works best. That works for Sis and the Jays. A little two-handed flush to the deep part. And Jill has talked all evening long about momentum and trying to carry it over, whether it's from set to set or from a run to the next run.
Creighton is serving extremely well right now, causing all sorts of fits for the Huskers in service reception. Wanted that touch, just couldn't get it.
Yeah, Nora wants that one back. He's going to laugh it off. But she knows that was a great opportunity. Annie Kubek, one of the captains, with a quick word. All good. We play on. 5-3 Creighton here in set 4 with Rodriguez to serve. Punch to Davis. Wait, middle roll by Schmidt. Launstein, they had her measured that time. Comes down. Kubik was there. Little roll by Martin. Launstein again. Touch. Tally for Nebraska.
Oh, pretty pickup from Rodriguez. And then the delivery, Lonstein says, I have that line wide open. Rally goes on. It's just so difficult to defend, like pin to pin, because they have so many weapons all over, especially as extended rallies go on.
Keely Davis tracing that ball. And then did a little late flinch saying, please go out. And it did. So the Jays stay in front. McCune to serve. Lonstein. The slide and the dump and missed the mark. Kiana Schmidt, she'd like that one back. And now Kirsten Booth. She said,
The line official called a touch. So
yeah.
Kirsten Bernthal Booth saw that. Said, hey, he called a touch. Hold on. Let's wait a second.
And she wanted the call without having to get the card out.
Right.
And now John Cook says, all right, two can play at that game.
And there's going to be a challenge.
Yeah, the ball that Schmidt sent across was out, and Kiana turned around and she saw it out, but then the rest of the bench exploded and said, wait a second, there was contact there. Down official agreed with Creighton, but now John Cook is going to challenge the touch here. Is there a fingertip by Maddie Kubek?
I think a pinky.
It's all about the pinkies, isn't it? See, Maddie's got a hand there. Another angle for you. And again, the official, they're looking, yes, pinkies, but you're also looking, does the ball rotation change? It doesn't change there. Doesn't mean that there wasn't pinky contact, as Joe put it, but Ryan Teague taking a look-see. Meanwhile, Creighton bench, little line dance action, keeping them loose.
I think that's led by Jayla Zimmerman. What do you say? She's out there saying, coming off this knee injury, I can still line dance.
She is
That's right.
She is a captain for a reason.
That's right.
Yeah. I think more than anything, that's what they miss from Jayla is her verbal, just the leadership on the court. And the call will stand. And again, the call was the down official changing it to say there was a touch. He saw the touch. Call was initially that the ball was out of bounds, which it was, but Creighton will stay in front of the scoreboard here at 7-4. Nebraska back to work with Lonstein. So good all night long. From the get-go, she was lathered up, and they noticed it, and Nebraska kept feeding 13.
A career high 21 kills for the sophomore. 400, and as a pin player, that is an extremely high clip.
Evans. He jumped in front. Hands on the Creighton side. Sis now. Directional kill. Nora delivers.
Doris is slow out of the gates on a set one, has continued to take her play to another level, and that is just a winner. That high contact point, deep cross court into the corner.
This starts it here. Davis poked it backwards. Now Keeley gets a swing at it. And Rodriguez. Hot potato. 9-5 Jays.
We talk about that slow start, but since then, at a set one, since then, Creighton has had the advantage. You think early going set two, weren't able to finish it had an early lead in set 3, able to close the door. And now yet again in set 4, right out of the gates, they have been the aggressor. They're starting to get more and more players involved and shoring up. I think they're doing a great job from the service line, being aggressive and causing issues for the service reception core for the Huskers.
It's certainly been a disruptive force and a key for Creighton to not dig that hole. Assist from the back row that time. Nice running shot by Schmidt. Kiana delivers. 10-5 Creighton.
And once again, off the service reception, not all 3 attackers live and available for them, because that first contact was pushed past the 10-foot line. And when you do that, you can read a little bit better as a defensive player. Say, okay, I can predict a little bit better where they're going to go. Maybe only 1 or 2 options instead of 3 options.
Nora again, the poke to Knuckles. Wind up, Kubik. Jays were ready from the back sis. Tracked down by Evans. Out of reach, and OB. Point for the Huskers, who trail it by 4. There is Kubik. Again, when she gets to 1,000 kills, she'll be the 24th Husker to reach that mark. It's coming soon to a court near you as Alec with the big munch in the middle. Oh, you love the physicality of Becca, only a freshman. But she's got some strength up front.
As we mentioned, teammates with her own teammate, Lexi Rodriguez, this summer, and then also Nora Sis this summer when they won a gold medal at the Pan American Games.
Davis went right after the freshman that time. Becca not able to close in time, so the Jays stay in front. And here's Witten. Been busy with that blue shirt tonight. Past the hands, missed the mark. Point for Creighton. Bump it back to +5, and timeout Nebraska to talk about it. Here in set number 4, John Cook, his squad dropped their first set of the year. He doesn't want this to become a habit here in Omaha. Certainly carrying over to the Creighton side for the moment. They were able to survive and hold off Nebraska to get that 3rd set. Now the juice flowing in their favor here in set number 4.
They're playing low air volleyball right now, making the smart shot, making the smart play, and they've certainly settled into this match. Really a bit disappointed they couldn't finish in set number 2. Able to do so in set 3, and they have taken the momentum in set 4.
Point out of the timeout for the Huskers. But to your point, Jill, Creighton could have easily hung their heads after set 2.
Right.
You know, gosh darn it, we lost it, we should have had it. We know what's going to happen next. But they fought the good fight and were able to get that 3rd set, and you can see the momentum still in their favor at the moment. Well, that was fun.
You don't see too many rallies like that. On one, oh, on one.
That's picnic volleyball right there, folks. And Creighton, they could care less about style points. They're up by 5 here in set 4. Goes over to Krause. Nope. Or Nebraska, they just look out of sorts for the first time tonight, mind you. Even in set 3, you still kind of thought they would find a way to finish that one off. They didn't, but right now, having some issues. Davis The roll shot kicked back. And then that one, nope, never made it across. But I say that, Jill, and I also say this, it is Nebraska, right?
And no lead is safe, especially when you have Whitney Lonstein, who's been carrying the Huskers, checking back in for her front 3 rows. She has 21 kills in this match. She has had the hot hand. I think they get her involved, and also off one of the best servers they have in Nicklin Hames.
They go quick that time to Reinhardt. Tough cut there by Kubik. And then elevating for the finish is Martin. The freshman has had her moments tonight, Jill.
Yeah, she's going to be a wonderful player, but the lights aren't too big for her on this stage.
Always chatty as well is number 8. Feeling comfortable in her freshman campaign. Quick shot there by Horde. To the rafters. To the front row. Horde over. Steadied by Wade to Sis. Horde, nope, denied by Reinhardt. Kiara lurking in the weeds on this joust.
That tight to the net. Wisely goes up. And the emotion, such a fun player to watch. You can tell just the joy of which she plays the game of volleyball with. And you understand that a little bit more when you endure an injury and you have to come back and say, hey, I'm going to cherish every single moment.
This one's still in play. And still available. Not for long, though, as Lonstein delivers. Boy, again, I like watching Horde because she gives you the illusion that they're coming quick to me. And you have to respect that in the middle.
Right.
But then you feed it cross court to Lonstein, and she does that.
Not many players have the explosiveness and the arm speed of which Lonstein can attack at. It is special. And then backs it up with a block.
Whitney. Horde on her backside. And that was all 13. Good close, good finish. Nebraska still climbing the hill, however, down by 5. Down by 6. That is service error number 8 for the Huskers.
We've talked about the service and pass aspect, and as this match has went on, it has been Creighton going back, serving aggressive, and really doing a wonderful job with that, with the serve, being aggressive and being also low air.
Oh. And just when we talk about Creighton being really good from the service line, that's number 3. Still good, but
yeah, that's still very low. And I mean, especially in this day in volleyball where you have to put pace, velocity on that, or it's just going to be too easy for teams at this level, especially top 20 teams, to put the ball away inside out.
Little flip job there by Martin. Huskers salvaged it. Davis with room. Sis over. Nebraska goes to work. And into the net on the follow through for Nebraska. Creighton remains in front, +6. Serve received tonight. Definitely in favor of Creighton. They've given themselves opportunities by being cleaner tonight. Back and forth, a little small ball.
Oh,
yeah.
Add that one to the highlight reel.
Deanna Schmidt delivers.
I mean, that is something to be said for staying with the play. And how about this set from Kendra Waite? This play goes on. The dive from Keely Davis. And then from her knees, pinned her weight.
Folks here, they want to see as much volleyball as the price of admission will allow. Timeout Nebraska. Creighton threatening to take this the distance and force a 5th set against the number 2 team in the land. Set 3, good vibrations have spilled over here into set number 4, to be sure, for the Blue Jays. You said this earlier, Jim. Houston Booth talks about, I don't lose sleep over this match, but it is a resume builder.
Sure,
if you can't win, you want to play well against a team like Nebraska because of what they stand for. And I would say so far the resume is getting a little bump and a little kick in favor of the Jays.
And not just that, the confidence to say, hey, we can play with the best. We are right there. We've had the lead actually in set 2, weren't able to finish. Set 3, able to finish that one out. And now in set 4, now with a 7-point lead to say, hey, we are right there with a contender for, many favorite for the national championship in the Nebraska Cornhuskers here. So you have to be pleased. We have a long way to go, right? But it is definitely good news for the Creighton Blue Jays.
Well, if you're that huddled, Jill, when does the pressure, if at all, when does it start to build? I mean, Creighton under KBB, she's 0-14 against Nebraska.
Right.
John Cook has never lost to Creighton, no matter who's coaching. So, is there pressure? Does it start to enter your mind if you're the Huskers?
Definitely. I mean, if you are Creighton, you have the lead, but that's the thing. You've got to fight through that. You've got to work through that. And then to get this experience in September is awesome. I mean, I think both of these coaches are going to say, hey, this is NCAA tournament caliber volleyball happening right now. We're getting this with a packed house, 15,000 fans in attendance. This is what it's going to be like in the national semifinals that are going to be played on this floor. So you got to relish in this opportunity. A chance to get better. Both of these teams are working through connections, different players on the floor, seeing different systems already out of the Huskers this season. A 5-1, now a 6-2, different arms out there.
Service error by Creighton, out of the timeout, but still work to do for Nebraska, trailing by 6. Wait goes to Schmidt. Huskers were ready. Sis, back to Wade, back to Nora. It's Rodriguez, flipped over by Krause. Sis again. Punched over by Alec, joust at the net, punched over by Alec. Witten to Sis. Rodriguez. Block is there by the Jays. Another whack at it by Krause. On the slide. Schmidt can't finish it. Now she can.
Everybody exhale. On long rallies like that, you tend to hold your breath even watching it, but that is an absolute sprint for both of these players on both sides to say, hey, who can endure that? And you don't see rallies that long, but that one was definitely the most extended we've seen throughout this match.
A programming note, ladies and gentlemen, we will move this match to the bottom of the hour to FS2. So from 1 to 2, but as long as they're playing volleyball, we will have it for you. Bottom of the hour, 8:30 Eastern. Here in the Midwest, that's 7:30 p.m. And Creighton hoping we are playing past 7:30. It would mean a 5th and deciding set against the number 2 team, the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Krause snuck it across. But still down 6. Are the Cornhuskers. If you missed it, they dropped their first set of the season. Set number 3 to Creighton. Blue Jays threatening to make it 2 in a row after they reeled off their first 17. Good swing by Schmidt. And even better by Davis. Reminder again, bottom of the hour, FS2. We keep things rolling here in Omaha between Creighton and Nebraska. It's 21-14, Creighton by a touchdown. Back to Krause. It comes back high. Quick in the middle to Alec. And it found some open floor on the other side.
Cornhuskers starting to get loud now, trying to will their team back into this set. Alec has the velocity on her serve. The middle blocker going back, holds her serve, a difficult serve.
Davis snuffed out by Horde. Is that a start for Nebraska? They need a run. They haven't cobbled together even a mini run here against Creighton. They've been the tone setters. Again, bottom of the hour. We go from FS1 to FS2. You can find it. Get the remote. Check the guide. You won't miss a point. A bullet. Too much. Creighton will take it. Jays will happily swap points here in set number 4. They'll go back and forth because they know they can get to 25 sooner. And if so, and it's the first of 15. He amped up there. A tad too much by Waits. Every player for Creighton, they keep glancing up at that scoreboard, Joe. They keep looking to see how close are we? When can we get there? Whitten again was there. Davis on the trampoline. Finger roll. Nebraska was ready. Whitten gives it air. And Martin swings hard. The freshman delivers. Looks like a big deal to the Blue Jays.
That's a bit tight for Martin. And then Kubik coming on the back row finds the opening in the defense.
And more great volleyball coming up for both these squads. Still some big teams on the docket. You mentioned Nebraska gets Long Beach State at home on Saturday, and then, oh yeah, number 11 Stanford comes to Lincoln. And then they will face Kentucky on the road. Kentucky, the only team to beat Creighton so far this season. And then it's Big Ten play. That's a meat grinder, as is the Big East. And there you see it. Still good challenges to be had for the Cornhuskers. Just because you didn't win the national championship doesn't mean you don't have a target on your back. Nebraska always has a target because they're Nebraska. So out of the timeout. Simple math here. Nebraska trying to extend their lead and creep closer. Creighton needs this one badly. Kept alive somehow by Hames. And good thing, because then the front row goes to work. It's Launstein again.
That's the type of defense, though, that I think can propel Nebraska to win a national championship. I mean, that is exceptional defense to offense, and a put away from Launstein, who's been leading the way for the Huskers all evening long. 24th kill.
He has been exceptional offensively. Reinhardt in the middle. Only got fingernails on it. Block, but OB. And it's match point Cornhuskers. Timeout once again for Creighton. said out of the last timeout, it was critical that the Blue Jays got that point and got their hands back on the serve. They couldn't, and now Nebraska on the doorstep.
And it's been really solid first contact. It hasn't been like they've been out of system. It's just been phenomenal locked-in defense from the Cornhuskers, propelling them to a 4-0 scoring run right now. And right on the doorstep to close this. And they're turning the tide. They're hitting it at a much more efficient clip. We saw maybe a little bit uncharacteristic, some errors, some hitting errors from the Huskers in set 3 and 4, but they have really just started over in this 5th set, hitting 400 right now in this 5th set.
I've also seen that in this 5th set, Jill, a little more energy out of Nebraska on these critical points. They realize that we're up against it, and we're having to earn all these points. So when they get one, they're celebrating.
And it's also been on the hands of two Nebraskans themselves in Lindsey Krause and then also Whitney Lonstein carrying the way for the Huskers. They know how this in-state rivalry means a lot.
Respect galore between these two programs, to be sure. Guaranteed that the Huskers never, ever come into this matchup and take Creighton lightly. That would be a huge mistake. And Creighton, flip side, they respect the heck out of Nebraska, but they don't fear them. Match point available here in Omaha. Cross court it goes. Rodriguez gives it some air. Lonstein tried the dump shot. Wind up by Martin. Davis, deep shot. To end it, Hayden Kubik. And the big red machine gets it done. Not in enemy territory, but on a neutral court with over 15,000 fans in attendance. They got a handful from the Blue Jays tonight, who fall in the 5th set 15-9. We'll return to Omaha to the big bow on this celebration of volleyball in the state of Nebraska.